Hey guys, so I know it's been a long time since I posted a video, and the first thing I wanted to say was thank you very much for the 50 subscribers. That really means a lot. I didn't even think I would get that many. I mean, who wants to watch a person living out of a PT Cruiser? Well, apparently 50 people do. So that's very encouraging. I'm just so lazy today. I didn't even roll my bed up, so I'm in bed mode right now. That's my pantry. And I'm just at this park in Colorado. I'll turn the camera around so you can see. So it's just a beautiful park. I mean, it reminds me of my hometown, Riverside. But you know, just super chill. I'm probably gonna be here another day or two. So I'm in Colorado Springs. And this is now my second time through Colorado because yeah, it's a good state. It's very clean. The air is very crisp, and it's nice to be here. So I'm gonna go over video by video and just kind of break it up in increments, everything I've done so far. I'm really bad at this, so let's give it a shot. Okay, so we last left off in Tennessee, and we all know how that one worked out. So just a quick recap. After Tennessee, I was just craving the beach. So I went right over to South Carolina and hit some beaches there. And I had a great time. So I'll show you some pictures from there. So this was at Myrtle Beach. That's one of the first beaches you get into in South Carolina. You pretty kitty. Yeah. So that pretty kitty I found at a little dock in South Carolina, Georgetown. And it was just, I don't know why, but every Georgetown is a small little itty bitty town. And so was this one here, but it was super beautiful. So these are just some of the South Carolina beach homes. They're all built on stilts because of the hurricanes, but they are just gorgeous. Just very beautiful homes. Okay, this is a private residence, and yeah, that's a pool right there that overhangs, and yeah, they have the American flag. So, monster. Look at that monster. Look at that home. Pool. Rooftop deck. So this next video is in Charleston, and they do the horse carriages that they take you around the horse and carriage, and they give you tours and history lesson. I wanted to do one, but I've already had horses and I know the horse thing. Horses.
And I mentioned JFK. And they said
So this picture here I took at a place called Hilton Head Island in South Carolina, and I came across this Brazilian American flag, and after living in Brazil, I just miss that place and have a special place in my heart for that, so had to get a picture of it. So after South Carolina, I went to visit my great aunt and great uncle, and it was awesome seeing them. They live the American dream. They are, they have the most beautiful property that you've ever seen. I'm talking, several acres, dozens of acres, and, the trees and just well-groomed land. And so here I'll show you some pictures of that. It's magnificent.
But you see that limb laying right there?
So this here is my great uncle Dio on the far right, and his brother Connor, and they live right next door to each other, and they take a back route through the woods and can cut across each other's houses. And then there's my Aunt Jean and my Uncle Dio, and they took me out to lunch, and that was amazing. And then here's another shot of us at their property. And Dio, my Uncle Dio, he keeps that place in tip-top shape. He uses his truck and drives everything around and, does a lot of work. And here we are at this huge house we went after church, just a huge old mansion, built probably over 100 years ago. And, they turned it into this breakfast brunch place. So that's where we went after church on Sunday. We went to this big brunch, and that was just incredible Southern cooking at its finest. You got the okra, the mashed potatoes, the chicken and gravy, all the above. It was something else. So now that Georgia and South Carolina are done, here comes Florida. And there was a lot of stuff that happened. So I posted my music that I composed on YouTube, and my other two friends that were contributors, they went ahead and they copyrighted my music that I composed under their name. And so I posted it for free on YouTube so everyone can hear it, and they had it taken down, and YouTube found in my favor that it should remain up. So with that being said, if you notice, the last video posted on my channel is our full album that we all worked on, but I had the heaviest of hand in the composition of the music, and we simply had a falling out. They weren't holding up to verbal agreements and things like that, and I'm not going to go too far into it, but we had a falling out. And so yeah, now I'm in Florida, and here's what's going on in Florida. So after Georgia and Uncle Dio and Aunt Jean and the falling out of my friends, now I'm in Florida, and I tell you what an experience. I'm walking on the Jacksonville beach, late at night, just frustrated over everything going on. And I see these flickering lights out in the distance, and lo and behold, I'm approaching the lights, slowly but surely. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's working on music. So I get closer, and sure enough, he's working on music and everything. And oh my gosh, what did I get myself into there? Okay, they were on something that I didn't want to be on, but we're not to judge, and we're to give everyone dignity and respect. And he was actually a really nice guy, so he took me on the back of his motorcycle, which was super fun, and he took me around Jacksonville, Florida a little bit, and he took me back to the place he was staying, right? Well, he in this container. He in a storage container. So I was pretty thankful to be in my PT Cruiser. Oh, my PT Cruiser's getting worked on. That's why I was out and about, not around my car. My PT, that's why they say stay off the streets and stay in school, because nothing good happens on the street. So that's why I was out and about doing, you know, walking around, is because my car was in the shop, my friends just screwed me over, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm walking, this guy's taking me around on his scooter and things like that, and then yeah, we wind up at his container home. Yeah, container home. And you know, I'm in my PT Cruiser, so I don't have any room to talk really. And I'll tell you what, these guys were something else. They were something else. Just look at some of this video footage, and wow.
I'm gonna get on the no, I'm not telling the camera right now, but I'm gonna get on the sponsor me and then put a fucking actual Harley Davidson motor on this bitch or something. You know what I'm saying? Put a big ass motor on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's different backs and different fronts. Like a bike frame. Hang on, handles.
Hold on.
I have like 2 or 3 rows right?
It goes right here. So it just blows through.
It's gonna be your throttle. Your throttle.
And that's how it's gonna go.
Dude,
Yeah, that's pretty sharp edges right there. It's like straight stuff to freaking flat.
bro,
There's no like.
if you look up contraption in the dictionary, there would be a picture of this here.
Because I'm the one that made this and nobody.
What kind of motor is this?
Why is it gotta be a
50
contraption?
cc.
It's a protraption. You don't even give a fuck.
So that was real. Those were real people that were building a real motorized contraption, or protraption he calls it, because con has a negative end notation. So protraption, yeah, that was real. So this next footage is when I was at Daytona Beach, and as you know, you can drive on Daytona Beach, but this time just so happened to be a truck week. So there were big muscle trucks everywhere, just loud, obnoxious, polluting, you name it, redneck, you know, mother, you know, all of them were there. So here we go. my god, this is just fucking hilarious. Tampon! Ah!
And they have a little a deck out back with the rest of the car. They give free shots every sunset. Everybody's out there, yeah, they give free shots.
So one of my favorite places in Florida was Tarpon Springs, however you pronounce it. It's just a gorgeous area. I didn't get much video footage there, but another cool place that my friend told me to go to is called St. Petersburg. It was definitely more of a liberal city, you know, which is fine. It was the cleaner liberal city though, so I'm from California, so I'm used to LA, San Francisco, and those can get pretty messy. San Bernardino. And so St. Petersburg was liberal, but it still had a lot of conservative traits that kept the city clean. I don't know, I guess you just have to go there and see, but it's just a mellower vibe, more inland. They got the bay, they have manatees, just things like that. So yeah, here's some St. Petersburg. So this here is the very modern St. Petersburg Pier, and that had a lot of controversy building it because a lot of the local restaurants said that they didn't want to have a restaurant on the pier because it took business away from the local shore shops. But they did it anyway, despite voting against it. And then this here is the 2 southern magnolia trees, and they are just enormous. They are enormous trees, hundreds of years old. And here's a picture of me standing next to one. Okay, so when I was back in Florida, the bugs were real, okay? The bugs, they're huge. They don't mess around. They will bite you. They will leave you with dozens of marks and scratchy, itchy nonsense. So, back in Florida, I was convinced that I had a spider in my car. And I took everything out of my car and I sprayed it with some home defense, insect, bug repellent, everything. I don't care. I'd rather suffocate from bug poison than have a spider in my car. So this is that. So I have another bug. Yeah. So home defense. So it's real and this is happening. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. Please, coach. Okay, so now I'm in Miami, according to this timeline. I'm in Miami, so here's some video and pictures of Miami. So this place here is called the Mandarin Beach, and because I lived in China and I speak Chinese, I just had to visit it. And this next picture here is me in front of a big yacht, and here's a video of said yacht. So, in case you didn't know, Miami Beach is actually consisted of fake sand. They actually import sand, a different kind of sand. I'm not sure, you research that, but it's not a typical natural decomposed sand. It's brought in from somewhere, and I think it's because the hurricanes or just however it is, they use that kind. So, very wealthy. And I was right next to the condos that collapsed, and you can do your own research on that. I'm just gonna say I don't believe anything the system tells us anymore. I barely believe the weather, so any kind of news that pops up on my phone, I simply just disregard it because I've lost complete faith in the system as a whole. So these buildings that you see here now, this isn't even the wealthiest part of Miami. And the place where that condo collapsed was the wealthier section of Miami. So you can do your own figuring. But, Miami infrastructure is impeccable. I mean, some of these buildings and these skyscrapers and everything like that, they're just, the engineering that goes into them is unparalleled. So... So when I was in Miami, I was looking at the map, and just north of Miami, you have cities like Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, and then you get up to West Palm Beach, and that's where Trump's vacation home is. So I definitely had to swing by Trump's vacation home at Mar-a-Lago, and it was gorgeous. Mar-a-Lago Beach is just wow. Super clean, very clear water, very blue water, and turquoise. Just a beautiful bunch of colors up there. So I'd highly recommend it. Yeah, so keep in mind, billionaires live here. Billionaires. I mean, the houses here, the property value, I mean, we're talking... So I walked over a mile to get to Trump's house because I got free parking. So I walked over a mile there and back. So I probably walked 3.5 miles just to video Trump's house as much as I could. And it was worth because I got some good pictures. So this is me actually in front of Trump's house. I got chased off the lawn by a security, Secret Service guy, but it was still worth it. Don't let anyone stop you from doing anything. Okay, so we're almost wrapped up now, and at this point I decided to go to Key West, Florida, which you have Florida and then you have a little tiny highway that goes out into the ocean, and it connects all the keys, which are a archipelago of little tiny islands off the Florida southern coast. And Key West is a little teeny tiny itsy bitsy little bitty island that's about 2 miles by 4 miles wide. So it's tiny. I mean, 2 by 4 miles, that's nothing. And the amount of infrastructure on that little island is insane. I would never live in Key West. Maybe I could live in a key further up, like Big Pine, you know, something with less people. But Key West, oh my gosh, they had an airport, they had hotels, they had residential, they had the shopping, the McDonald's, the Starbucks, the everything. They had everything on this little tiny island. And it shows. I mean, it was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but when you drive around the island, you know, you smell the pollution and you smell what's going on there. And if you walk out to any docks or piers, jetties, anything that extends off the coast, you know, you see the pollution that is going on. And so, you know, it's a very cool city, don't get me wrong, but you know, very liberal. I mean, it made Los Angeles look conservative. I mean, I'm talking, whoa. So it was, you know, you got to be the right person to live there, you know. So here's some Key West.
Mr. Wilson. Look, this person, this is the front.
I'm late night ago.
I saw Patrick Finnegan. Hey, Patrick Thomas Finnegan.
Ashley, Nathan.
Oh, look at how photogenic you are.
Look at your.
Oh, I thought we were taking a picture.
It's a 4K video. Because look at the color of that shit right there. So what you just saw there was a bunch of chickens that are native to Key West Island, and they're protected because they were once upon a time going extinct, but now they have overpopulated. And me sleeping in my car, I have the windows down, you know what I mean? And my gosh, I wake up, you know, sunrise right next to my window, because the roosters are everywhere. They're everywhere. They're loud. They squawk. They quack. They walk. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't live in Key West. I wouldn't do it, but here's some more. Okay, so I'm really tired and I am sleeping, and there's a garbage truck that woke me up, and it was going by one and picking up all the cans, you know, dumping it in and shit. And I don't know why, but I just thought that it was gonna pick up my car next and think my car was garbage and throw it in. So I just instinctively opened my door real quick and started flagging the guy down, no, don't fucking trash my car. Yeah, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just a fucking idiot. So this here was in Key West, and I overheard this group of people speaking Chinese, and so I just started chatting with them in Mandarin and asking if they needed a picture taken of themselves and stuff like that. And it's just really important, especially in the times we're living in, that the Chinese people are not the Chinese government. So we have to differentiate the two. The Chinese people are very kind and generous and happy people, whereas they live in a system, in a totalitarian system, and that's not their fault. So this here's a time lapse of the sunset, and you don't realize how much you miss the sunset. I mean, I lived on California, West Coast. The sunsets there are gorgeous. So you don't realize how much you miss seeing the sun sink down into the water like that. And so it was just gorgeous. It had its good moments.
Where at?
Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Nice. Yeah, say Boston?
Cape Cod.
Nice. I live and work here. I'm like,
So Key West overall was very fun if you're going to visit, but nothing I would want to make a life out of. I asked the people there what they do for dating and stuff like that, and there's a lot of them that are just waiting for the right tourist to fall in love. So very limited. It's a go-go city. The streets are very tiny, very narrow. There's lots of car accidents. Lots of pedestrians get hit in Key West. So enough of that. But I did get a little bit of footage in Tarpon Springs. So here's the next footage of Tarpon Springs as I'm traveling from Key West north to my family reunion in Texas, which I got a little bit of footage of. At sunset though. Shit. Holy shit, that dolphin is fast as fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. It's feeding time. Wow. That is crazy. So what you just saw there was a dolphin feeding in Tarpon Springs, and just long story short, I was taking that video and I turn around and there's this old woman that starts talking to me, and we're talking and you know, pretty soon the park is closing and the guy's coming out to tell everyone to leave, and the lady, she tells me, she's like, do you want to come over to my house, you know, and finish talking and keep talking about everything? And I told her, I was like, you know, I really usually politely decline those kinds of offers, but in this case, I will accept. And come to find out, she's 85 years old. She's been married twice. And, gosh, she just reminded my grandmother that just recently passed. She was 85. And my grandma's most recent marriage, of my step-grandpa, because my grandma lost a spouse. So my step-grandpa, he lost 2 wives. So this old woman that met me at Tarpon, she's 85, the same age as my grandmother. And then she's married twice, the same reasons as my step-grandpa. Her last husband's name was Jim, and that is my step-grandpa's name, is Jim. So there was just a lot of stuff going on, and it was very emotional talking with her, and I did start crying when I was with her. And you know, she invited me to stay the night, and I did. And the next day I noticed she had a ceiling fan that needed to be installed, and so I was just telling her, I was like, yeah, I can do electrical work and stuff. And so I installed her ceiling fan for her, you know, wired it up and everything, and she was just so happy. She introduced me to her daughter, and they took me out to lunch. Her daughter's married and has, you know, kids and everything like that, and she introduced me to her, predicated on how interesting of a person I am. Because I told her, you know, I lived in Brazil, I lived in China, I speak the languages of both. And, you know, she was just fascinated at what I was doing, living in my car, going cross country. And it was amazing. And she paid me $200 to install her ceiling fan like that. I didn't charge her a dime. She just donated it to me because she was just a great lady. And we still keep in touch, and we still talk over text. And, you know, she's 85 years old. She's been on this earth 4 times as long as I have. So that's a huge honor to me when an old woman like that feels comfortable enough. I'm 6'6" tall. So for her to feel comfortable enough to invite me back to her home and then ask me to stay the night, that is worth more than its weight in gold. It's worth more than gold, that opportunity, you know. And that was a very unique thing. And she told me the dolphins feeding, you know, that's where we met. She said that doesn't happen. As long as she's lived there, she said she's never seen a dolphin feeding that close to shore. And it was just really, really special. And it just reiterates God's existence, you know, how his timing is perfect, and he has a rhythm to his madness, a method to his madness, if you will. And even when it seems chaotic and we don't know what's going on in our life, God just has a way of giving us a little gift, you know, just a little gift. So now I'm headed up. That was Tarpon Springs. And so now I'm headed up to my family reunion in Texas. And wow, they are a wild bunch of people. And I will be going every year from now on. But man, they are a wild bunch. Okay, that right there is a fucking rattler. It's a fucking rattlesnake. Get the fuck out of the way, rattlesnake. I don't want to run you over. Look at that shit. Holy fuck. That is a rattler. That's no joke. That's a fucking rattlesnake right there. Hey. What's up, buddy? Rattlesnake. Sick. So I'm here at my Wright family reunion, and we have a whole campground here, and everyone's getting in tonight, but there's already some people getting here set up early. So they're doing the barbecue pit over there with some barbecue pits and cooking, and I'm just right here with all my stuff that I've been doing for all this time. You know, I've been doing this for months, folks. Then there's a little clubhouse everyone's gonna eat at later. And all of these spots here will be filled tonight. And there's some early birds right there with their setups there. And I pitched the hammock. I pitched the hammock for the kids, so they're having a great time over there. Okay, so do you hear that noise in the back? That sound of the thing? Okay, those are bugs. Those are locusts and various other bugs, okay? And they're real. Texas bugs make Florida bugs look small. There is a bug I felt something on my arm right here. I thought it was someone brushing my shoulder. Oh no, it was a mosquito, like the size. And then I just recovered from the mosquito bite, but I mean, look at that. That's just healing after several days, a mosquito bite. That's like, it looks like a needle, you know? It looks like someone stuck you with a needle. Huge bugs, unreal. So all that noise you're hearing, that's all the bugs.
On the phone, I should be in the hospital, you know, talking to the dog. And at one night I said, okay, I said, he done.
I don't see your car, she's not here.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, go ahead. KJ, Dilla Wright, and all of their 14 descendants. It's crazy. So that right there is the family tree board, and I zoomed in on a little family, and that was my family. So just a little tiny dot, and then the whole rest of the whiteboard. That's our family lineage, my roots. So it was really amazing to be able to get to see that, and everyone there they loved me. I just can't even explain it or know why. But I love them too, and it was all mutual, and it was just awesome to be able to get to know them and just know we're all somehow related. Everything's connected. We're all kin. It's just amazing. Bentley! Dude, look at that line though. That's like a Disneyland line.
That one I bought you.
Dude, it's pretty here out in Texas.
He just stole the other bike. I know. What? He just stole the other bike without asking. The guy in the blue suit.
So one of the younger generation cousins, he came up to me, he's like, hey, you want to see us go stick firecrackers in an anthole? Yes. Why, yes, I do. So he drugged me over there, and so this is them putting firecrackers down an anthole.
Here, you stick it in. I'll hold lighter. You ready? Ready? Hold it. Oh, God. Let me go off. Someone count it and go off.
Bentley.
This? Oh, no! Yeah.
It's just a little tiny pop. So this old man here is Waylon, and he is 92, and he is the youngest of the 14 descendants that started the Wright reunion. Our Wright reunion has been going on for 75 years. So I was at a truck stop, and they had this big map up in the hallway, and I just had to take a picture of it. Look at our beautiful country. I mean, look how big, diverse, all the different states, and, you know, driving across the whole country, you know, it feels pretty small. I mean, when you're driving and getting from state to state, you know, it feels, I don't know, it's just surreal to know that we live in a country that is so complex and so different than most on Earth. Okay, so I know it was a really long video, but I hope you enjoyed it because we're all caught up, and now we're all caught up, and so now I'm back in Colorado, which was already a video on Colorado. So I'm here for the next few days. I'll probably go stop by and see my friends in Golden again before I head up to the Dakotas and see the Black Hills and take the northern route east this time. So I took the middle route west to east to start and came back around the bottom, and now I'm going up again to the east again and do the northeast down and then back through. So, woo, it was a lot. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for all the subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe and like, comment what you think, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully it won't be as long. This was almost an hour-long video. So but we're all caught up, and there was a lot of stuff that happened in my life. So there was a lot of stuff going on that I just couldn't get down and make the videos, but we're back. We are back.